Hey everyone, this is Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast. Okay, today we're going to be reviewing how to increase your profits through listing optimization. So I talk about this a lot, perceived value, how to build that perceived value, and how that applies to your listing optimization. And if you do it right, it is easy, very easy to increase your product by a third, double, triple sometimes, and I can give you some case examples. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different format, but welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast.
Lunch with Norm, lunch with Norm, lunch with Norm, lunch with Norm.
Okay, like I mentioned, this is going to be one of my favorite topics, talking about perception, how easy it is, what sellers are doing and not doing to increase profit, get away from being a bottom dweller, get up to the top, like being seen as a high perceived value product. And it doesn't cost a lot to do it. So today's guest, some people know him, has the boy wonder, Squire, the podcast host, the boy from the Wheel of Kelsey, the man from the Wheel of Kelsey, Kelsey Farrar. So he's going to be joining us in a second. We're going to go through what we do when we upload and create a listing. So let's just have a word from our sponsor, and then we'll get back to the boy blunder. A big thank you to our sponsor, Post Purchase Pro, the only complete A to Z done for you real email and text marketing service built specifically for Amazon sellers. My friends Sean Hart and Seth Stevens co-founded Post Purchase Pro after launching over 1,000 successful private labeled products, growing 53 brands, and get this, exiting 17 businesses. Post Purchase Pro creates all of your digital assets 100% for you, from marketing inserts, complete sales funnels, email follow-up sequences, and weekly email promotions. They manage and optimize everything for you to drive more sales, get higher ranking, and receive more reviews on Amazon. So check out Post Purchase Pro now to see if you too will see enormous growth like their nearly 500 clients worldwide. That's Post Purchase Pro at postpurchasepro.com/lunch. We're back. And thank you to our new sponsors, Post Purchase Pro. Okay, so where is Squire?
Hello. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to the podcast and Be Entrepreneur. Yes, it is live.
We are live.
Here. Yes. So you can ask your questions. Let us know over in the comment sections. Also, let us know where you're watching from today. We're over here in Canada. It's actually Canada Day here. So happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day, Kelsey.
All the Canadians. Happy Canada Day to you too.
Thank you.
Anyways, if you're new to the podcast, we start off by smashing those like buttons, giving us a thumbs up, and hopefully you find this useful, and feel free to share this across social media, whether that's on Facebook or YouTube. You YouTubers as well, make sure you subscribe to the channel down below and ring that bell. And you can always watch us or listen to us as a podcast as well. So wherever you listen to your podcast, whether that's Amazon or Spotify, Google, wherever, we're there. So if you could rate and review us, that would be amazing. We'd really appreciate that. So yes, today we are talking about listing optimizations. We had to change the topic last minute, so some of you might be a little confused if you're popping in now, but I've changed over all the descriptions and everything. So we thought this would be an interesting topic and something that you guys could all really use. So welcome, Jessica Rabbit, as well. Good to see you. Thank you. Canada Day to you. It's so hard to say Canada Day.
Why?
Just try saying
Canada
a couple
Day.
fast. It's impossible. Anyways, welcome, Michael, as well. Happy Friday. Happy Canada Day. And thank you, Be Entrepreneur. It's great to see everyone. And we're going to kind of go with the flow with this one. We've got a couple points that we want to tackle. If there's any points or questions you have for us about this topic, let us know in the comment sections, but we can jump into it.
And by the way, this format, the reason why we're doing it today, we could have easily found another guest, but one of our Patreon members said that they thought that this would be a good format, just to talk, for me to talk, Kelsey to talk, and just, instead of having a guest. So we decided that's what we're going to do. This is the first time we're doing it. And we could do it depending on the interaction of the group. It could last 30 minutes. It could last 45 minutes. It's really up to you if you ask questions. This is an open mic, basically. Ask me anything. We will answer them. We might even answer them as we go. It just depends. This is brand spanking new. So if you pay attention to this podcast, I think you'll learn a lot. And we're going to be just talking about how to make additional money. Now, I know Roz has already heard me talk about this a million times, but I love to see you. I've been working with brand for 30 years. And anyways, this is something that I saw years ago in Amazon that a lot of sellers weren't doing. They thought they were building a brand, but a lot of brands really sucked. And they just didn't have that high perceived value. To get the most out of your product, to get the most out of your brand, you can't just say this product is 3 times more than the competition if your listing sucks. So we're going to kind of touch on that, because it's got to equal to, your brand has got to equal to the quality of your listing to have the quality of the price you want. And it's so simple if you just follow a few guidelines. So first of all, I'm thinking that you've probably already got your product. All right. So you've done your product research, the product opportunity is already there. Now you're thinking about, okay, this is a great product. Let's use soap, for example. So, oh, wow. So, okay, what can I do with it? Well, for a brand, the one thing I'm looking at is, can I stretch this out? Now, I'm already gone through the testing period. I've dipped my toe in. I've seen some practice sales. I don't do that. Usually what I'll do is I'll do all my competitive research, and I know going into it, I'm going to jump in 2 feet. But some people, might be the first time, they might want to test out the waters. But I see the product. I see the product opportunity. I know it's soap. What else can I sell? So let's say my soap takes off. Can I create different packs, like 3-pack or 5-pack, multi-pack, just makes sense? Can I get into different sizes of soap, 4 ounce, 5 ounce, 1 ounce, whatever that is? Could I get into different products? Maybe I can stretch into shampoos, conditioners, bath bombs. I know that I can stretch out my brand right from the beginning. And I also try to look for brands, for me anyways, that have recurring revenue. I love recurring revenue. I like sitting back. Once I prove to somebody that I've got a great brand, they're going to buy it again. So I'm assuming that's what they're going to do. Now, I have to come up with a great name next. So that's the thing. I usually just don't go to a generator to come up with a name. I try to put some thought behind it. I try to figure out what or who our audience is, what we stand behind, and I start to bring that all together. So like we talk about quite a bit, building audience, understanding your audience. For us, and within our marketing of our soap, we know exactly who our audience is. If we're marketing to mudders, which we do, we know that these people are crazy. Janelle Page is a mudder. Anyways, these crazy people that run obstacle courses get completely covered in mud, and we tell them we have a marketing campaign called Get Clean with Mud. We sell them Dead Sea mud, and they're big honking blocks of soap that they can get clean with. Anyways, it's just kind of a fun gimmick, but we know that audience. And this is what you really do have to know about. And I talk about Spark Toro. You can go out, find Spark Toro, and you can start to find out who your competitors are, who their influencers are, who their followers are, and kind of target that. You get to understand the demographic. So first thing is to understand that audience. The second thing, what it's all about with our soap. One of the things that we're trying to always bring out is that we believe everybody is entitled to fresh water, and we will support 5% of all of our proceeds go to organizations that support this cause. So, okay, that's what we stand for. We know our audience. We stand for this. We build our mission statement, and then we go forward. For us, we came up with a look and feel that was pinks, blues, and lavenders, and we had to change it because it wasn't working. I thought it would work. It wasn't working. Our demographic that I thought was going to be women turned out to be mostly men. I don't know. But anyways, this is another point that I want to talk to you about. It's okay to change. So don't think you have to stick. Like, don't think you have to go out and spend $1,000 on a logo. You can go and you can get a logo and you can expand on it as you go. Today, Kelsey and I were just talking about packaging. We have to change some of our packaging. That's going to be we're going to constantly evolve. So that's one of the things that I wanted to bring out is understanding your brand, understanding that your brand can constantly evolve, understand that you don't have to spend a lot of money on it, but have something that's consistent, a good quality brand. Now, this brings us out to consistency. And I think, Kelsey, you've been doing this a long time with social media and, being the producer and just even with the Lunch with Norm brand. What are some of the things that you look for when you're working with our company, trying to brand it or some of our brands? You're on mute, Kelsey. Just press that unmute button and you're good.
I got it now. I think
Okay,
the first things I look for, or first things that brands can do, is create a brand kit. So something to make sure all of their fonts, logos, colors are all consistent throughout all of their campaigns, whether that's social media or listing optimizations and their websites, making sure that everything is consistent through everything. Also, you want to make sure that your brand reflects the quality that you're trying to perceive. So you don't want to, have a dollar. We have a Dollarama, which is like a dollar store here in Canada, but you don't want to have your logo, a lower end product logo, reflect a product that you're trying to sell that's maybe worth a higher perceived value. It doesn't match up, and it's not exactly. Your customers are either going to be pissed off once they see your logo if it's what am I trying to say? If the logo is very high end, but your product is a low end product, that's going to cause some issues. And then vice versa. They're just going to be confused if your logo is a lower end cheap logo, but it's a great high quality product. You could probably charge a lot more. And so you want to make sure that those match up. And then also just on the same line with branding, you don't want to be spammy. So there's a whole bunch that you can go into in social media about spamming your customers with emails or social media posts. But yeah, starting with a brand kit, you can even go on something like Canva, put up create your settings with your fonts, your logos, your colors that you want to use, and just start with that. Making sure that you have a circle size logo, because social media is all about circles and with their profile logos, and then building that out with some templates that you can use on Canva for different things. So I don't know specifically what you want to dive into, but those are
one of the things, like just keeping along that line, is when you're asking for a spec sheet or formats, or different formats, we'll always ask, like I just talked to Wenver this morning. So Wenver is one of our graphic artists. And I said, okay, get me the specs, get me the formats on this. And what he's going to provide me with, he knows right off the bat that he's going to give me a color version, black version, a black and white version, or I'm sorry, a grayscale version. He knows that he's going to give it to me on a white background, black background, and a transparent background. And like Kelsey said, if we need to do a profile picture or anything like that, he's going to give us that. He's also on the spec card. He's going to tell us our colors. So we provide the spec card to anybody. Now, you gave a perfect point. If you have this, and I think everybody who's listening right now has probably gone out. I know I do this with food. Wow, this is so fantastic. I didn't think it was going to be this great. Well, have you ever got that product that you got and you saw the product maybe on Amazon or wherever, and you thought it was possibly just going to be okay, and it comes and it's like, whoa, this is really great. Well, this is a person that's really not taking advantage of of the quality of their product or their perceived value. They've never dove into this. Like I talk about the 3 tiers. If you go into Amazon and you want to come out as a low quality product, that's okay. You can fight for, it could be just sales volume that you're going for, and you might be satisfied with a dime on everything that you're selling, and you might not need to spend a lot of money on brand, and it could be lower end, and that's fine. Then there's that mid tier, and the mid tier is usually there's a gap in pricing, and then it'll hit that you'll see that everybody's kind of settling in there. A lot, probably the high majority of people usually fall in that area. And then you've got the higher tiered items. These are the people that are taking the chance, either changing it up with, size or quality or something, and they're charging a premium price. So that's the challenge. And if your brand doesn't show that, then you've got a problem. You've mismatched the perception. So I'm thinking now that we've got the brand, and by the way, when you get that brand, you want to make sure that you can get the brand name. So you want to probably make sure that you do a name search to make sure that that's okay, that you can do a trademark, and that everything's cool, because there's a lot of wasted time if you come back and the trademark is already taken. So next step to this is going to Namecheck. So I forget how it's spelled. It's Namecheck, I believe. And it's going to tell you every social media or every domain, everything that you can get your name automatically activated. So that's usually, I use that for social media just to make sure that they're available. And if they're not available, then I'll come up to something as close as possible to keep the name, like The Real or something like that. All right. We have that. We have the logo. We have the domain name. We have the trademark. And when you create your logo, make sure you put the TM there just to make sure that, people know that you're using that logo for commercial use. And then we get into the fun stuff. With Amazon, excuse me for a sec. We get into the fun stuff. I love images. I create we probably go out a month beforehand. We do a 2-week pre-launch, but we probably go a month and a half before, and we're getting people, influencers, people trying out our product. We just threw out a ton of product to about, 25 or 50 people just to get the reaction, see what they, how they like it, take pictures. And now we have user-generated content that we can use not only on Amazon, but we can use in our other social or in our website that we will be building in a second. But now we have the images. The first thing I do is when I get my product images back, the primary image, I want to split test just to make sure that it's okay. I'll do it with packaging, without packaging. It might be a different angle. So when I'm directing my product photographer, what angle, what lens are they using? Is it straight on? Is it above? How's the lighting? So these are all things that I can split test. And pretty much, like if you're going to get product shots, if you're getting 4 different angles, it's pretty much the same price. It's not going to charge a lot. And if you go to like companies, like Taylor Boone, or if you go to productphotography.com, there's a lot of them out there. I think Rob Burns is doing product photography now. If you're doing one, or if you're doing four, product photography, just straight products without having models in, it's not very expensive using those people, especially if you're just trying to get the average product, using the average image that can sell. When I launch, for my products, like if I know I'm going in with 2 feet, I usually go to a high-end photographer that we have not on staff, but we use. But we have a listing of probably about 5 or 10 companies that can absolutely give us a good quality image. So we can test that out just to see. And if that starts to work and we're starting to sell once we launch, then we're good with that. If not, we might have to change that up. The other thing to keep in mind, that product image that you're going to be launching with, you might need to have a 3D rendering. We have a box. It's white, it's black. It's made from cardstock. No matter what you do, no matter how you take a picture with a regular tuck box, it's gonna look bad. It ripples. You can see the top of it, the box starting to, it doesn't look good. So we spend a couple of dollars and we get 3D renderings done of that. So we put that in the picture with the soap and it looks fantastic. If I did it the other way, people would see that the flaw in the box. Right off the bat, there's a little bit of a red flag. So for high perceived value, you can't have that. Now, as for your other logos, we like, it's Diane Bolster that really got me turned on to this. You've got your bullets over here. We take the highlights of the bullet and put it into your benefits, put it into features. We don't write a novel. We will put it into ingredients. We'll put it into instructions, like using soap. What do we use? Put under warm water for use a loofah or mitt or something like that. I forget what it is. And then lather and enjoy. Very, very like 2-word, 3-word bullet points. We don't write books. And then I like the lifestyle. This is where the user-generated content comes in. And 100% of the time, not 99, 100% of the time, we bring in video. Now, sometimes if you're starting out, even if you have a regular product that's doing well, you'll find that just doing a lower end video is fine. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. It's not a Hollywood production. And just like your user-generated content, people trust the iPhone. Like if it looks like it's real, or if it looks like it's a stock photo with a graphic artist that is not good with using Photoshop, people know that it's a Photoshop image and they don't trust your product. If you see a real person using your product and has a happy face and they have a great user experience, they trust your product. If they have a video that it just could be a very simple video of you using the products with a couple of overlays of what the benefits are, and it's on a round table or something like that, you can get away with that. If you want to put a higher end video up, sometimes that takes away from it. I'm all for product videos and good quality product videos, but there's really, to launch, you don't have to do it. Even if you want high perceived value, people with videos, they trust user-generated content. They trust an iPhone video, especially if you're a micro brand. If you're a huge brand, if Dove's doing this, or if Irish Spring is doing this, or Old Spice, or whoever, then they're going to question it. But from a micro brand, they really wouldn't do that. Okay, so next thing. You've got, Kels. I can't hear you. You know what? Being a producer, you've got to learn how to use the podcast tools.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we've got some questions coming in. Let me fix my light here that we can
Sure.
jump into.
I hope
Um,
everybody's liking kind of how we're doing this format today. I wasn't sure if
all right.
people wanted just to hear me talk.
Yeah, no, I think they do. And yeah, we'll answer some questions kind of throughout the show. We'll try and stay on topic. So we might not be able to get to everyone's questions just depending on where this goes, but let's see what we can do. From Be Entrepreneur, do you use Helium 10 only to find products? This may be a bit before the listing process itself.
No, I don't. I love Helium 10. I'm probably one of the biggest advocates for the product or the app, but I do not use Helium 10 to like X-ray to find the product. I do use X-ray once I find some ideas that I have, but I just go off of like I start looking for ideas or trends myself. I don't use their tools or Jungle Scouts tools or any of those other tools that you can just check to see if there's a 3-star or 1-star. I do this all myself when I go and I start to look for my products. So for newer sellers, that might be better, to go in and see, what criteria you can use with a tool like Helium 10. But for me, I think I like the challenge of going out, finding new products, going to Dragon's Den, going to Shark's Tank, going over to Kickstarter, see what people are doing and see if I can improve on those products or do something that's in my niche that I know a little bit about and improve on it. That's kind of how I do it. But by all means, use Helium 10's tools. They are meant for this, especially if you're just getting into the game.
Okay. All right. And our next question from Justin, do you think India will become the new China?
No, I think it's going to be a great place for resources like Megla. I think she's having her India sourcing tour trip in October, and it would be interesting to go there and to learn about it. But I think China, India, I think North America, I think Latin America are going to be some really great hotspots. India is awesome for certain things. It's not awesome for other things. So China's going to have its place. Korea is going to have its place. Vietnam. I mean, there's all sorts of different places that we can go and source. And even in the EU, there's incredible we're sourcing some products out of the EU right now that I absolutely love. It is the best in the world. I'm talking like soaps, the best. So it's some of the best soaps in the world. Mine actually is some of the best, but other than mine, yeah, we're looking into Europe for some.
Okay, and we'll do one more question and then get back into it. This one's from
Yep.
Jessica Rabbit. What methods, procedures, software do you use to determine the demographics for your intended initial product and subsequent intended products to include in your brand?
Okay, so that's interesting because it's so diverse. One of the top tools that I like using is SparkToro. So I talk about that a 1,000 times. But SparkToro is it's a paid. It is free, but you don't get the information that you want unless you pay. It's pay to play, and it's not expensive, but that's good. We do a lot of exploring. So we go in and we just explore. We go into and find the hashtags. We find who the people are, who our competitors are. We find different trends. One of the things you can do, and I do want to give them a plug because they're awesome. We've never worked with them directly. We have one of their people on the podcast at one point, but Digital Marketer. If you're looking to do something, either, find a persona, create a persona, build out your followers. They either have a course to get you certified or they have lessons from experts. And that's another really great way to help build out and learn. We are constantly learning. One of the things that we tell everybody that works with us is we'll pay. We don't care what it is. We'll pay for you to learn. We want you to learn an hour a day. So out of your 8-hour day, we want you to take advantage of 1 hour. We don't care if you do it now or on the weekend, but just do it so you become an expert in whatever you want. So digital marketer has a place for us. It doesn't have to be $90 a month, but we pay for $95 a month, I think, and we get all these different certified courses. So I hope that helps.
Okay, and from Redbeard, he says he loves it. Great. We'll get some more questions in just a little bit, but I think we can kind of jump back in to your talk.
Okay, so the next part to this, and this isn't only for images, this is for every element of what we're going to be talking about. But since images take such a huge role in perceived value, what I'll do is I'll send over, like through PickFu or Usability Hub. Typically we use PickFu. Is we find our suppliers, our competitors, and we use our image. And well, first of all, we see which image is the best. So we split test that. Then what we'll do is we'll take the winner of that and we'll take our competitors and we'll put their images up and we'll see if we're equal to or better than the competitor. Now, if we're equal to, if it's a fail, then we have to understand that we have to go and do this better. Now, sometimes you can have, let's say you have a cylinder, you're selling supplements, and you had a product photographer do this. They gave you some separation in the background on a white bottle, but it still is kind of flat. Well, you can go to a graphic artist and say, look, this photo, we need it to pop more. What they'll do with that is they'll either bring in some lights, artificial lights, and make it look like it's more of a cylinder. And just doing that can make it pop. The other thing that we do, and this is really important, we take that label, and I'm going to use supplement. And you know how a supplement label will wrap and it'll have the key supplement facts on the one side and all the ingredients and crap on the other side. And it because it's rounded, you see all that. Well, we'll get a graphic artist to remove it and then stretch out the stuff that really counts. You know, the brand, the logo, it's all true to brand, but we're just removing some stuff that makes it more clear. And you'll see this done on commercials all the time. So when you get the product, all right, so it's got the supplements, it's got the other stuff. That's okay. That's when it counts. But if your label is bigger, better, cleaner, simple, that's what's going to bring in attention. And just by doing those two things, you could probably outperform your competitors unless they're doing that as well. Now you go back, you do the exact same thing, and you're equal to or better. Now you can go to the marketplace. If you do have brand registry, I still would suggest that you use the A/B split testing in brand registry. That it's called Experiment, and it's under brand. Go to brands, go to Experiment, and then you can split test the pictures and just constantly split test to see if it's working. That's the major part. If you get that chunk out of the way, then you're on your way. The other part I don't have to spend a lot of time on is on your copy. When we're building the initial listing, we add a lot of keywords in the title, in the bullets, in the back end. When we get to our final, which is maybe 30 days to 60 days, we start to clean up the listing a little bit. And if you want to learn more about that, Stephen Pope has a system that is exact to what we're doing. And that's getting indexing, getting keyword rich, adding keywords after 30 days. And then the final step is really honing in on engagement. So I'm not so much worried about quality of engagement the first month, sometimes even the second month. I want my listing to be unbelievably engaged. I don't want it to look like a robot wrote it. So when I'm writing copy, I want to have the first and the final copy with me, so I know that, people will love to buy the product, but I need to get sales. I need to get indexed for as many keywords as possible. And I need as many keywords in the title, into the keywords, into any of the attributes with a flat file. And again, I'm going to put the onus on the listeners. If you haven't heard Vanessa Hung talk about flat files, we have a podcast that you should listen to. She's awesome. She's the flat file queen, and you will learn how to build a moat around your product to defend it against black hat techniques. And not only that, it will help promote your product, and you're just going to use as many fields as possible. Okay, so let's just say you've got your title. I use, and if you told me this 8 months ago, I would say this is crazy. But what I do right now is I use as many characters in the title as I can. I stay away from short titles. I use as many as I can. I use as many characters as I can. I don't fill it with fluff. I fill it with keywords. And they still can be engaging sentences. You still want that. But I fill up my keywords. I don't care about mobile. I don't care. I care about mobile on the images. But right now, it's indexing and keywords. There's going to be a lot of people. That's pretty controversial, because there's a lot of people that would say I'm absolutely wrong. This is my method. It seems to work. Then once I have that, I go into the back end and I add the search terms. Now, do I add keyword phrases? I can. And do they work? I will remove the keyword phrases and start to filter in just single keywords after the 30 days. But during the first, I'm playing around with it. And if I've got a really popular keyword phrase, I'll put it in, even though it is taking up a bit of space. But I will fill that, the search terms up. And then the bigger part is, let's go down to the next thing. If you've got, like for me, soaps, I want to make sure that when I launch, that I can, at least in a very short period of time, get frequently bought together. So what I'll do is I'll have a campaign where multiple products can be bought of my soap. So it could be 1 cent, but I'll offer a 2-pack to somebody, and a 3 different soaps with a special coupon, or I'll get somebody to buy it. And now you're getting frequently bought together. And especially at the beginning, it's not hard to get the 3 put together. And then I just do that once a month. That makes up, I still think it's around 33% of sales. I make sure that the listing has at least 5 questions that I solve pain points for or make people's lives easier. So I check out the competition, and I will answer or ask the question rich, like with keyword rich, and I will answer with keyword rich. I will also add Amazon posts, a minimum of 10 posts, and I will put keywords in the caption there. And that's other than A+. Well, there's 2 other ones that take a bit of time, but I will add A+ into it, and I will create a store. Now, this all has to be consistent with brand. So let's just skip to the next part to this, because I can go down a whole rabbit hole on A+, and maybe that could be another topic, or store. But one of the things that we're looking at, yeah, go ahead, Kels.
I was actually going to say to the audience, if there are specific things you want to know more about Norm's process, whether that's A+ content or the store, give a shout in the comments. What would you like to learn about Norm? If there's something we could do a deep dive on, would that be Amazon posts? Would that be A+ content? Would that be, talking to your photographer? Let us know in the comments right now. Talking to yourself, his beard maintenance regime, anything. Let us know in the comment sections, because we want to kind of build out these smaller episodes where it's just, like this is what you do, this, and this,
Yeah.
over 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, and then it's just an easy lesson, and you guys have action points to take home with you. So let us know. Now we do have more questions. I can let you, if you want to jump back into your
Yeah, I just want to
talk
finish up
again.
a couple of other things. They're not long, but
Okay.
this is the content part is a long, arduous task, and we could break that into sections. This next part is not. So other than getting your listing optimization up, these are things that are so simple that could easily double your profit. So the next is your packaging. Packaging is everything. So could be the insert, it could be a handwritten note, it could be, the package. A lot of the products that we have an outer package and then the package itself. So when we're sending out our soap, we have an outer branded package that has our product name and everything on it. And then they open it up, and because it doubles as a shipping box as well. And then when they open it up, they have the tuck box with the soap inside of it. And we have not this round, but we usually have an open window. So when you open the box, guess what hits you? It's the scent of the soap, and it kind of takes you back, and it's, oh, wow. So packaging for us means that we can sell a bar of soap for not $7.99, but $9.99 or $14.99, depending on the ingredients. And that can even go up, like in Japan, $24 for a single bar to $36. That's what soaps are going for in Japan, foreign soaps, depending on the market, depending on the niche. But these are things that you can do strictly by packaging. I use my knife. The knife that we work with, it's a $16 cost of goods. Came onto the market at $49. It came in an ugly clamshell package, and I know he's probably listening, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm saying the story, but anyways, because I was just talking to him beforehand. Anyway, you know who you are. It was an ugly package, and you have to admit it was an ugly package. So we came up with some ideas, and it was a rigid box. The knife was in EVA. It had a thin layer of foam on top. So when you opened up the box, it was a beautiful message. It was magnetic clasps, and then it unveiled the knife. And that's what it is. It's unveiling the product. And we also, not only was that a great box, we put it in an outer box that kind of looked like an iPhone box, kind of. It just had a shadow silhouette outline of the product. Really looked cool. So we could take that, and we started playing around with the price, and we got it up $10 at a time. But it ended up, that $49 product ended up being 90. It was around the $99 mark up to 124. And today it's still fluctuating. So then we went back to the drawing board, and we said, well, what can we do that's different with this that could even bring us in a bigger market or a bigger profit margin? And so, okay, let's reverse out the outer box. So instead of white, we make it black. We'll bring in a new name, premium. It's the same product, but one is hammered, one is layered. And then we got a wooden box, a really beautiful wooden box. And then packaging that up with a price point going out at around $224, $16, $224. So there was probably $3 plus the $2, so $5 extra, which brought us in $200. So that is something you can do with perception. Now, how did I know where to come into the marketplace? The Chinese that had the product, that were trying to move the same knife from the same distributor, were coming in at $24 to $36. We saw that as an opportunity, and we said, okay, he came in at 49, or sorry, it came in, that was the other knife. It came in at $49. And that was low, like if you wanted to trade dollars, go ahead. But there was another tier that was above it that we saw that you could enter in the market that could go even past the 124 mark. But we thought if we came in 99 to 124, people are actually paying for that price. Then going back and doing your research, you saw that next tier, which is on the first page, that people were actually paying like I think it was 175 to $300-400 for these knives. Okay, it was a brand name, but we thought, well, why don't we take that? So we knew exactly where we were going in. We knew exactly who the audience was, and we knew exactly what kind of traffic we would get. And guess what? It worked. So I just want to let you know that, when you're going in, packaging can make a difference of doubling, tripling, quadrupling your profit just by packaging. And we do this all the time, day in and day out. The next part, we all talk about our inserts. I'm not going to get into inserts, but if you have value in your inserts, like an extended warranty or something of use or some type of giveaway, you want to make sure you can trap, get people to come over to your site and happily give their email so you can start building your list. Not going to get into insert marketing. We can get into that. That's a really great topic. But the next part to perceive value is doing the small things. Putting a transparent seal to make sure that it's not broken. Putting shrink wrap around a bottle. When you buy supplements, if it's just open and you can see into the bottle, I don't know about you, but like with ketchup or sauces, to take psychologically, if it wasn't there, somebody could tamper with it, or somebody has tampered with it. I don't know about you, but recently, if you go to a store and somebody doesn't have that seal on the product, it's in our heads now that, this could be tampered with. I'm taking it back to the store. So, we're psychologically, we're brought up to think that way, but there's tons of other little things that you can do. You could put in, like, I love this from years ago, a handwritten note. We get tons of handwritten notes, generic notes made, and we just add it into our product. And most people, when they leave a review, talk about our handwritten notes. It could be, there's so many different things. Let me see. It could be the type of the type of bottle you're using. So instead of having a plastic bottle, it might be a glass bottle. It might be something that doesn't have to cost a lot of money that you do that's different than the competitors. Now, these are the little things that you can take a look at that make a difference. So I remember doing a garden shear. So there was a steel carbon steel garden shear that was going for $7.99. For 45 cents, we could put a titanium blade on, and that would bring this up to $17.99 to $21. So just by doing that, imagine if you add the packaging and you have the transparent seal and you have the insert, and this doesn't cost you anything. The type of, and I already talked about the materials. So is it glass? Is it plastic? Is it a different shape or size? When I'm putting out like conditioners or lotions, I'll use a sealless pump if I'm going for high perceived value rather than a pump break shipping. So the sealless pump cost me $2 to $3, but I can get $10 to $20 more because it's perceived value. These are the things that you can do. You can take a look at quantity breaks. You can take a look at size. Dead Sea mud. I talk about this. Anybody who's listened to the podcast before, you can enter into the Dead Sea mud arena at an 8-ounce Dead Sea at $6.95. Okay, 8 ounce, $6.95. You could go into the second tier in around the $24 mark to the $44 mark. At the top tier, the most expensive Dead Sea mud you can get is 3.5 ounces. And it's going for $90. But if you look at that listing, it is incredible. It's beautiful. It's fully optimized. You look at the $6.95, nobody's buying that crap. If they are, they're thinking that, okay, discount buyer, can't afford anything. I want Dead Sea Mud, and I'm willing to pay $6.75. Okay, I don't want that customer. I want the ones that are going to go second tier and top tier. Now, the last thing I want to talk about today is, and this is probably the most important, is the user experience. So exceptional customer service is everything on, off Amazon. You want to, make sure you get back to the customer. If they give you feedback, you want to get back to them. If you've got them off of Amazon, that's all important too. When you're dealing with a product at a certain price level, have you ever bought your own product? If you haven't, buy the bloody thing and see what the customer experiences. The other part to this is, while you're doing that, buy the competitors. So buy the 4 or 5 competitors that you're up against. And not only do you get to see, their product, but if they've got an insert that's worth anything, you'll get on their mailing list. You can see how they're targeting other clients, and you can, if it's working, if they're the best, if they have the highest market share, you can kind of duplicate it around it, or you can make it better. So I did this with a bottle of non-alcoholic spirits, and I sent 5 over to my dad. They arrived, and I said, "Hey, can you rate them, and what would you pay for them?" Well, my clients and 3 others came in bubble pack. And he said, "I'd probably pay about $24 for these." This other one came in, and it was in a beautiful box. And he said, "I'd easily pay between $30 and $40, all because it had a box." And he thought that the other way of doing it came in a bubble pack. I don't know if you've ever got any bottles. It was glass. It could have shattered. But anyways, we turned it around because I wanted to see this customer experience. Not only were we able to take a look at the price, but we were able to take a look and see if we could increase the price because of this. It was $1.25, I think, extra in packaging. So that's it. I could talk an hour on each one of those topics today, each one of those areas, those variations. If we want to get into building perceived value, like 5 steps, 5 hours. Anyways, Kelsey, where are you?
Okay. Yes. Let's see. So you want to jump into some more questions?
Oh, you know what? Let's do a giveaway today. We never talked about it.
No, we did not.
So what do we do with Afalabi? We give either the tariff terminator, the month of free storage, or what is it? The inventory.
Month of inventory.
Yeah. So let's talk about that for a second, and then we'll have a Wheel of Kelsey today that we didn't prepare for. You want to talk about it, Kels?
Okay. All right. So let's see. For today's Wheel of Kelsey, so this is our giveaway. If you'd like to enter and win, you'll have to just put the hashtag Wheel of Kelsey and the hashtag I don't know, what's our little giveaway?
Value.
What's our little secret word? Value. Hashtag value. So you need to have those 2 hashtags together. Hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, hashtag value. And you'll be entered to win this little prize from Honu. So you could either win a tariff terminator, where Honu takes a look at your tariffs that you're paying.
That's worth $300.
Yep. Or you can do the inventory management service that they're just putting out there now. So that's a month of that. Or you can have a month free storage at the 3PL warehouse at Honu Worldwide. So you can have your option. We know some people are in different stages, so you can have your choice of those 3. So you get one of those 3 if you are today's winner. So that's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey and hashtag value to enter. So
let's add something. Okay. For those people that listen to the whole hour, we'll also create a press release for you. If you provide us with the bullet points, the keywords, we'll provide you with a press release worth $200 on top of this. And why don't we, because this is the first time we're doing this, Kels, we'll do a mug and, well, the mug, I think we have M&Ms still, but the mug and possibly the M&Ms.
Okay, awesome. So
Okay.
again,
So it's
hashtag-
sorry, Kelsey. This is about a $500 or $600 Wheel of Kelsey today.
all right. So hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, hashtag value in the comment sections, and we'll have just a quick word from our sponsor.
A big thank you to our sponsor, Startup Club, the largest club on Clubhouse with over 790,000 members and growing. They're one of the world's largest communities supporting the startup ecosystem, from founders to those wishing to work for a startup and everything in between. You can find them at www.startup.club for blogs, recordings, and a calendar of upcoming shows, and on the Clubhouse app. Just search Startup Club for daily shows 24/7. You can also now listen to their show, the Serial Entrepreneur Club podcast, on Apple and Spotify too. Stop by to connect, learn, and grow together. I gotta ask, Be Entrepreneur, are you an F1 fan? I'm jealous that Simon's at the F1 races this weekend. I know you're from the UK, so just wanted to know if you were F1 fan and if you're gonna go to the race. Anyway, so we can jump right into the questions, Kels.
Okay, let's see. Okay, question from Redbeard. What's the simplest way to start my first email list?
Inserts. The easiest way to get the ball rolling is inserts. Just on your insert, have a dynamic QR code so you can change it. But drive them over to your web page or just a simple lead page, telling them what they're going to be able to, whatever the value added would be. For us, it is a bar of soap or soap dish, depending on what we want to give away. And it's a monthly entry for a 3-pack of soap. Plus they get access to bar soap, and there's one other thing. So it gives them a reason to leave their information. If you're just giving them research or some PDF file that nobody cares about, you're going to get that. It takes something to get that email. So for us, giving them a $10 product, now you back out because our cost of goods is completely different, but it's worth it. Yeah, I want to spend $5 or $10 to acquire a customer. I'll also drive traffic from an email campaign, or it could be not an email campaign because I don't have any emails, but it could be on Facebook. You could drive traffic from there. You can drive traffic from influencers. There's lots of different ways that you can do it, but the easiest way to build your list is through a well thought out insert. So just kind of keep that in mind. Once you get going with this and you want to start building up a community, so let's say that you're building up a like campaign on your Facebook page, well, then you can promote your product or promote whatever you want and drive people over to the page again and get their emails. So I don't recommend going and renting a list. A lot of the times those are just crap. They're useless, and a lot of the times they're not even part of your audience. So you're just spending money sending and getting an email list that doesn't work. You have to groom your list. And Adrian Savage was on here, and he gave us a ton of nuggets, and they worked for us. So when you get that email list, you want to make sure that you segment. Like if people aren't responding to your emails, make sure you move them out of your email list and only keep the people that are opening up and engaging with your email. And if you do that, like right now, we have a really great email list of around I think it's 5,500. I'm not 100% sure, but we have well over a 70% open rate. For anybody that's in email marketing, they'll know that, that's not bad. And they like it. We have a hook. People like receiving our emails because of the hook. Anyways, that's another topic as well. But emails, simple, insert.
Okay. Lots of questions coming in. And we are at the hour mark. So yeah, just let me know when we'll cut
I
this
thought there
off.
was just
But
30 minutes today, Kels. I
that's what I
talk too
thought.
much. I
You're the
talked
one
way too
talking.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
From Claudia, what order do you add your keywords into your listing in terms of importance? For example, 1 title, 2 bullets, 3 A+ content, 4 alt text, 5 back and search terms, etc.
Well, I as for the main keyword in your title, I never go for a primary keyword or what I call the primary long tail keyword. So let's say it's bully stick and then grass-fed bully stick. I always have like either a 3, 4, 5 word combination, a long tail that I'm trying to rank for, but usually it's like 3 words, and it's a combo. It could be like uh, oh, faux fur or foam mattress for large dogs. So I know that faux fur foam or foam mattress or memory foam mattress for dogs or beds or mats would probably be a longer tail keyword that I can rank for, that not everybody and his mother's going for, and that it's not going to cost me an arm and a leg for the dog bed, for example, or pet bed, or bully stick. Like bully sticks, every time somebody clicks on bully stick, it's a major cost, and it'll wipe my budget out very quickly. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that I work with that secondary. This is a long tail keyword. I'll use that in my title. The one that I want the most search volume for, the one that I think I can compete for, is definitely in the title. I try to put, when I'm first launching, it could be, and it has to make sense, but 2, maybe 3 keyword phrases, or at least single words that can make up keyword phrases in the title. I weave throughout the bullets, and I can duplicate. Okay, and people say not to, but I can duplicate the phrases if it makes sense, especially if you're doing longer bullets. I put them into the back end, no commas, just a separation. So word, space, separate, word, space, separate, word, space, separate. I make sure, very important, that any and all fields are filled with keywords. I work with the questions and answers that I'm preparing have keywords in them. I work with my Amazon post, and I don't know if it indexes that have keywords in them. I name the photos. The first photo is the ASIN.jpg. Every other one of those photos is a keyword. Okay? Every photo is a keyword. And sometimes we'll put ASIN hyphen keyword.jpg. And then same thing for your A+ content. So the A+ content are all keyword based. They all have the alt tags in the back, which you can just add keywords. So keywords, Spanish keywords, or whatever language you want. But those are where we put a lot of, we want to make sure that every photo, it has keywords there. So that's kind of what we're doing, just making sure that every area for keywords is filled. And also, you want to make sure that you're indexing. So you can go over to Helium 10, use their indexing tool, and make sure that all the keywords that you're weaving in have indexed. So you're going to be able to do that. You'll see each individual single keyword that is in indexing and where they're indexing. So that's something that I would recommend.
Okay. Let's see. From Jason, Best way to handle NCX score issue if customer categorizes item as defective for return, but description says Amazon envelope actually empty. This happened a few times. Amazon's fault for empty packages.
Well, if it's being sent out by Amazon, then it's their responsibility, right? So if a product is a defect or an empty package, probably the user who puts in the complaint just knows the system that can complain, say empty, and then eat their bonbons and laugh. I think it's probably what's happening. But if it's an Amazon issue, they'll take care of it. If you're shipping something out, FBM, and it is then your responsibility. So that's one of the benefits for FBA, and I hope I answered that correctly for you.
Hey, this is from Hatcham. How can we increase our stock limit as my limit is 300, which is not too much? What should I do to make it increase? Do you have any advice?
Did you direct mail me the other day? Because I had that exact question. And anyways, just wondering. Yeah. So for that, when you're first starting out, Amazon is just testing the boundaries. So they're limiting the amount. But what I do, and what we've done quite successfully, is that we monitor. And then when we get sales and Amazon starts to see that you get sales, you're going to see an increase. And then I will send in immediately whatever that is. And just in case it gets lost, I'll just keep monitoring. So let's say Wednesday, Sunday, you're checking, and then you're creating, you're talking to your 3PL to start moving things in. So if you're only, let's say they're only allowed 300 units, usually very quickly you can get that up to 500 or 700 or 1,000, depending on your launch strategy. So if you're moving and you've got sales velocity, Amazon doesn't want to lose out on those sales. So get everything set up, get your PPC set up, do whatever launch strategy you're doing, have a digital coupon there, to make the product good, for the new buyer, or drive some traffic from social media. Once you start to see some sales, just get the sales out, or monitor and get the product to Amazon. That should help.
Okay. We have a couple more questions. I don't know if
Yep.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a holiday. What the heck?
Okay. From Be Entrepreneur, do you revise backend keywords too?
Yeah, we play around with it, but whenever we do any revisions at any time, and usually there's smaller revisions, we don't do big revisions all at once. But if we are revising backend keywords during that 30, 60, and 3-month phase, basically, those can revise. Typically, what we're trying to do in the back end is get products indexed. I go in and I make a note. Either the team will make a note, either on a spreadsheet, or they go to Helium 10 and they monitor what they're doing. So Helium 10 gives you an opportunity to add a note, and you can see the date of the change. I make sure that I watch. And if I'm not, all of a sudden I'm not indexing, or all of a sudden I see a keyword drop, then I can always go back and change the back end to what it was. So everything that we're doing is just monitoring. If you're monitoring on a regular basis, or if you've set up, I use a company called Sentry Alerts, I think it's called. And if Van Dan, if you're listening, I just want to confirm it's Sentry Alerts, which I found is the most diverse alert system out there. I know Helium 10 has alerts, and they're fine if you don't overlay, but with Sentry, we use them for everything. And if any issues come up, we get notified, and we can change it right away. But we manually go in if we change anything and watch index and watch the keywords and make sure that the changes that we made were effective. And you might not see the change right away. It might take a week. That's why we put notes in, because if you're doing this to 5 or 10 or 100 SKUs, it's hard to keep track of everything.
Okay. Let's see. From Redbeard, do you lose your indexing for certain keywords when you clean up your title later? Like if you remove or replace a keyword?
Indexing usually kicks around for a while. So, and you're going to check that anyways, right? So if for some weird reason you do, you can always just replace it. Just go back and add it again. It takes, it takes a long time to usually drop your indexing. So that's why we do the revisions in the 30, the 60, and the 90-day area. And I'm just saying that's on average, that's what it takes. So it's a 90-day launch. But if we change something up or if we add something, we'll see that. We'll see if it's indexed, and we'll see if the keywords in Helium 10, the keyword tracker, if there is an issue. And once again, if I do make the change in the title, I'm putting that in a note in either a spreadsheet or over on Helium 10.
Okay, and our last question, Be Entrepreneur. Doesn't more number of ASINs mean more number of ASINs to run PPC on, meaning it's hitting your bottom line profit?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the 80-20, right? So if you have a lot of ASINs, you don't have to run all PPC on all ASINs, or you don't have to run as many campaigns. You can, like for us, for example, we have in one group, in one brand, there's 13 product ASINs. There's 2 products that clean up, that really clean up. There's nothing we can do. Every campaign we create, it's always going great. But at the same time, we have campaigns that we've launched, we can't convert, or we're having problems converting, and we have to go back to the drawing board. And maybe at the end of the day, it's just something we're not going to do. It might be a much, much smaller campaign, but we have to go back and see that listing. Why isn't it converting? Split test it, get and use pick who. It's got to be a reason that if XYZ is getting so much in a market share and we're getting squat and we're spending way too much with no conversions, there's got to be an issue. So that's what we'll look at. Sometimes people might not want the product. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe, I had, oh my God, I had a soap that I was selling, and it was, I called it something blossom, but it was pea, like not pea, but it was like peas in a pod. The blossom is really a nice smelling soap, but the soap comes out green. So number one, I start selling it. I get a 1 star because the hue of green wasn't represented in the picture. It was. But anyways, the other thing was it was puke green. So people didn't buy the product. Well, guess what? We delisted the product and wasn't worth $1 on because people didn't like the color of the soap. So anyways, we cut bait quickly, but don't cut bait on your PPC. Like, make sure you split test. If you're converting organically and you're not converting on your PPC, there might be an issue. It could be the type of campaign. It could be you're not spending enough. There's a lot of different things. And if you work with a good agency, they'll be able to, help you out with that. But yeah, all products are not created equal. Same thing with PPC campaigns. So you don't have to spend the exact same budget on your PPC. Spend it where it counts.
All right. So I think that wraps it up. Yeah. Awesome. So we can head on over to the Wheel of Kelsey. I also just want to say thank you to everyone for the questions and comments. This is a little bit different today. Let us know how you liked it. Did you like the solo performance of Norman Farrar? Or
I mean, if
did you
it
hate it?
sucked,
We
or
wanna
if you
know.
like to have other people on, I mean, that's fine. We just thought, again, from one of our Patreon users, that doing something, me just talking, might be something to break up, having the guest on. Our goal, like Kelsey said, is to have a group of these, I don't know, once a month or once every other month, where it's a 30-second get in,
30
don't go
minutes.
down any, huh?
30
30,
minutes.
30 minutes, 30 seconds, pretty short, but just go down, train, don't go down different rabbit holes. Just look at a topic and get you the information that you want.
All right. So, yes, let us know in the comment sections, and we'll do a quick word from our sponsor and head on over to the wheel.
If you're selling on Amazon in 2022, you know how important it is to stand out from your competition. Let Hono Worldwide lend a helping hand with your product innovation to outcompete your competition online. That's right. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the success of your newly innovative product while Hono handles all the work. Visit honoworldwide.com for more information. That's Honu, Honu, worldwide.com, or email savings@honoworldwide.com.
Okay,
All right.
and we'll head on over to the wheel. So, get ready, everyone. Here we go.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right. Thank you, everyone who entered today's Wheel of Kelsey. I'm going to shuffle these up and give this a spin. So, this is a pretty big goodie bag from Honu. We got a press release and some mugs.
Apollobi and Shane have no idea I did this. Claudia,
Claudia's
congrats.
cleaning up.
Happy Canada Day, Claudia.
Yeah, nice little goodie bag. Reach out to me, kay@lunchwithnorm.com. Our assistant Nina will reach out to her, so look out for Nina@lunchwithnorm.com to for any winners going forward. Anyways, it looks like people are enjoying it. Redbeard says, love the show. Definitely should be done again. Jessica Rabbit, this format is nice to intersperse periodically. Be entrepreneur, very useful. Get your audience more engaged too. Yeah, so I agree with that as well. We got lots of questions coming in.
Great,
and,
great.
Yeah, we love interacting with you guys. Congratulations, Claudia. Again, kay@lunchwithnorm.com. And I think that's it.
Okay, so, geez, what do we say? I think we'll just cut it off now because we're a little over. So join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Eastern Central Time, Standard Time. And we love this community. We can't do this without you. We love the engagement. We love all the questions and things that are being posted in our Facebook group, and the comments and the sometimes off-topic posts that happen there. But we really appreciate it, and have a great Canada Day. Happy 4th, and we'll talk to you soon.
Lunch with